Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of the Eagles Film Room with myself, Liam Jenkins. This time we're taking a look at the play of Ronald Darby, and it's been something that has been criticised frequently since the Eagles' sloppy win over the New York Giants in Week 15. Darby didn't exactly have a strong outing, but he's been crucified by fans and the media alike after a game where he gave up a couple of big plays and some damaging penalties. But was it all that bad? And how much of it was down to him? It's time to dive into the eye in the sky footage to see what really happened at the Meadowlands. Let's play a game of the good, the bad and the ugly and start with the excellent. Darby of course had a phenomenal interception that changed the momentum of the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. How did it come to be? Take a look at these eyes here. What Darby does best is read the eyes of the quarterback. He's zoned in on Eli Manning and this allows him to break on the ball, make a perfect play, haul it in, and what he does next is what makes Ronald Darby so special. It's will, it's determination, it's power, it's elusiveness, and he brings that ball right inside the opposing end zone for a big opportunity for the Eagles offense. What we saw later in the game was some great press coverage from Darby against Roger Lewis, a matchup that's already been punishing this afternoon. So we can see here there's a single safety over the top, he's on an island. As Lewis comes towards him, Darby does not plant his feet. He springs back into the corner of the end zone, a little bit of contact and punches that ball away, doing everything he can to keep it away from the hands of Roger Lewis. Physicality at the line of scrimmage has been something that has been craved by Eagles fans for quite some time. When asked to, Darby brings it in abundance. He sticks to Roger Lewis like glue here on the back end of that route, refusing to let him get away, forcing the incompletion. When it comes to pressing, Darby is among the most patient in the league. Keep an eye on that front left foot here as he lines up against Roger Lewis once again. As the route breaks over the top, Darby is able to pull his entire body weight over his front of the body to close off the back end of the route and leave Eli no window. That forces the long reach over the top, no completion there. So let's get into the bad, and unfortunately this was the pass that sparked it all, a completion to Evan Engram. Engram just simply outmuscles Darby here. There's not much the Eagles cornerback can do, but he was just forced off the ball by a much more physical tight end. This next play isn't bad, it just goes a long way in showing what the misconception is with Darby's play. So he's bailing in off coverage here. It's a simple comeback route for Eli Manning and the Giants, and by the time he turns around, Darby has to close. We saw this time and time again with Jalen Mills. That's not on Darby, that's on the scheme. This next play just saw a technical error from Darby. In bump and run coverage, there's no bump, there's no contact, and Darby simply turns too early for the ball. Let's take a closer look at it here, slightly slower and freeze train the moment he turns. At that point, because there's no contact, the receiver's just able to get that extra step and pull away. It's an incomplete pass, but it could have been so much more. And then came the penalties. There was a sense of urgency, a little bit grabby, a little bit too aggressive, and it hurt the team. Firstly, shadowing Evan Engram, we can see doing everything he can to stop him, but it's just a bit too much. It's a bit overzealous, and he still hauls in the pass. One play later, it's the matchup that's plagued him all game long, and at this point I think that nerves are setting in a little bit, or there's a slight edge to his game, and Darby gets very handsy. He's not a handsy corner, he's usually very patient, got a bit aggressive at the line there, and it cost him. The final two plays were certainly the ugliest, but they also highlighted the problem with this Eagles defense against the Giants. All of their plays are scripted to be over the middle, slants or comebacks, and when Darby bites to expect that, it's so easy for Lewis to fade on the outside. We saw a Tavares King touchdown against Jalen Mills do exactly the same thing, and it's a pass allowed. He's angry at himself, and understandably so. But then came the big one. This was the touchdown blow, and a play he simply should not have given up. It's the same old story, morning glory, and again Darby bites on the outside fake, then the play comes back over the middle. He doesn't have the speed to catch up and just collapses to the floor trying to stop Tavares King. By that point it's signed, sealed, delivered, and the damage has been done. The Giants receiver in for a touchdown. Overall, we can simply say that it wasn't good enough. Darby made some rookie mistakes. It felt like more of a mental game than a physical one, and he seemed almost outdone by a Giants offense that was designed to capitalise on the off coverage that the Eagles were playing. Is this his fault? Could he have been saved if he was allowed to press at the line, if he was allowed to be physical? Maybe, maybe not. The only way to find out is to see what happens in the coming weeks. His return to the Eagles has not been as smooth as like, but this game wasn't as bad as we're making out. There were simple errors which most cornerbacks make, but there were just a couple more of them than we're used to seeing. If you've liked this content, guys, please give this video a like. I cannot believe this channel is nearly at 150 subscribers. It means the world to me. If you do follow our content over at Philly Sports Network, thank you for absolutely everything this year. We promise 2018 is going to be just as exciting. So if you like what we do, stick around, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you for another edition of Eagles Film Room very soon.